Hey everybody, how's it going? Like Butter here, and today I got a division video because I want to show you the build that I have been currently using, because I've been getting a lot of tweets, a lot of comments on videos. A lot of people want to see the build that I am using and why I'm using it, so I thought I would do a video, show you guys the build and let you know that it isn't completed quite yet, but I thought I would show you what I have so far so that maybe you guys, if you want or you're interested in this build, you can start working towards it. So what I was using before, I was using 3 Firecrests for the reload speed, which I had mentioned before, that it is one of the strongest things in the game to be able to reload your gun as fast as you can with the 100%, because of all the times that you're going to be reloading your weapon during gunfights, just because, you know, fights last a little bit longer in this game than they used to, so, you know, the reload speed is super important. So what I did is I decided to put an Alpha Bridge build together, which would give you the same benefits of, you know, the Firecrest, but also giving you other stats on top of that, which is very, very important. So I'm going to explain to you guys, you know, why I changed to this build for DPS and so on and so forth. Okay, so what am I running? I'm running 4 Alpha Bridge, 2 Final Measure. Now this, you know, 2 Final Measure is completely up to you. I personally run Final Measure on every single build because it's so important with all the sticky bomb builds out there and all the reclaimers that use explosive rounds, and, you know, the fact that, you know, you may get shock turreted and then hit with grenades, and it just helps you in so many situations. In my opinion, I would not ever run a build if you plan on going rogue or doing any type of PvP without the Final Measure. Not only that, it also helps you against the cleaners in the higher levels, so you can tank some of that damage for your team. You don't instantly go down. I think I have about 80% exotic damage resilience with this build, and you know, it's super helpful to not just get completely melted. So now, why did I switch to 4 Alpha Bridge? Now, the reason I switched to 4 Alpha Bridge is obviously, you know, the first set bonus isn't going to help. However, down the road, I do believe that they're fixing it's kind of an exploit, I guess you would call it, but everyone does it, and I don't blame people for doing it. But when you switch to the police backpack and get the extra ammo and the extra med kits, I don't blame people for doing that, because I don't think they give you enough ammo as it is, not even close to enough, because, you know, they didn't really compensate for, you know, the NPCs getting tankier and taking more shots to kill people. You know, it'll be nice if they in the future just give us more ammo so that we can immediately just go in, restock, and leave. Don't have to switch between all your gear. But in the future, those 2 medkits are going to be huge, because it's going to give you 7 medkits even if they fix it. So that's going to be huge. The 100% health regen is really helpful, you know, in solo situations. It's not a huge deal. It doesn't make a massive difference, but it does, you know, help a little bit that it regens a little bit faster. And then this is the reason why you do the 4 Alpha Bridge. If your primary and secondary weapon is of the same category, they both gain all the unique active talents. That is huge. So basically what this does is it allows my primary and my secondary to share all 6 talents. Now, I'm going to go through the talents with you guys and show you guys why it's so strong and that kind of thing. But for right now, as you can see with this build, like, the DPS isn't like super high. It's, you know, up close to 200,000, but it's strong. Trust me, you wouldn't notice that, because here's the thing: what you got to realize about Firecrest is how the DPS works in this game is it takes reload speed into consideration, because it doesn't actually detect your damage per second. It detects your damage per like 10 seconds, and then it divides by, you know, how many seconds are in that period, so that it can, you know, take reload speed into account and mag size and that kind of thing. So what's going to happen is with this build, you're going to get the reload speed of Firecrest, but it's not going to get calculated into your stats. So you got to remember that DPS, don't forget guys, paper DPS does not mean anything. Everything is about how much damage you do in a period of time, and this build is going to get you to that. So I'm going to show you guys here in a second. Right after I show you all the gear, I'm going to show you why it's so important to get these 6 talents. So let's go over the weapons real fast. I'm using an MP7 as my primary, the best SMG in the game by far. It has responsive, vicious, and brutal, which is very good. You know, those are three really strong talents. And then on my PP19, which is my secondary, since they're both SMGs, the talents get strung between the two. So that means if I'm using my PP19, I get 6 talents. If I use my MP7, I get 6 talents. So on my PP19, I have Unforgiving, Deadly, and Hurried. So these 6 talents are super good. My MP7 has 46% crit hit damage, which is really good. One of the higher rolls that you can get. So responsive, vicious, brutal, unforgiving, deadly, and hurried. Now, why do you want hurried? Hurried is what's going to allow you to have the effectiveness of Firecrest without Firecrest. It says critical hits increase reload speed by 10% to a minimum of 1 second's reload time, which I believe ends up to be like 125%. So if you have any type of crit chance on your build, this is going to greatly help you out, because say you hit 7 crits in your clip, it's going to reload by 70%. If you hit 10, it's going to reload by 100. If you hit, 15, which isn't hard, and I'm going to show you guys why, you're going to get a lot of reload speed. And I'd say at least 95% of the time, I'm getting as much as Firecrest gives, if not more. So that's absolutely huge. So if you want to see what I'm running on my MP7, I am running a T2 micro red dot sight, 22% headshot damage, 7.5% critical hit chance. Don't forget that critical hit chance is extremely important, especially since you're if you're using a 229 weapon like this one, it doesn't have as much crit chance as the old SMGs do. The extended mag, 29.3% fire rate, 100% mag size, which is very important. I'm using stability and hip fire accuracy on my underbarrel, and on my flash hider, I have accuracy and crit hit damage, 21% and 37%. So that's what I'm running on my MP7. On my PP19, I am running the same that I was running on my old PP19 as well. 21.5% headshot damage, 7.5% crit chance on my red dot, and then for my magazine, I am running the 35% crit hit damage and 30.1% rate of fire. The reason I'm not using an extended mag on the PP19 is because 53 bullets is more than enough, especially with hurried. There's no reason to have, an extended mag on the PP19, and I'm using a flash hider with accuracy and crit hit damage as well. So now, the bad thing about this is that since you're running 2 SMGs, it's kind of difficult to take NPCs out from a really long distance, but this build is made for you to be up in the fight, strafing, hip firing, even if you're on console, it's a little bit harder to hip fire, but you could still be able to aim and do a lot of damage since the fire rate's so high. I'm using this, first wave X45 for the damage, over the optimal range of the SMG. Sometimes I'll just take my pistol out and do some damage from long range, so it's super helpful. So we're running Final Measure, which this is a stamina one. It's got armor, exotic damage resilience, ammo capacity, smart cover damage resilience, which is nice because I'm using smart cover. For mods, I have critical hit chance and skill power. That skill power is really important to get your skill power up over 25,000. But you can change that up and put crit chance in if you need a little bit more. On my mask, I got skill power, disorient resist, pulse critical hit chance, which pulse critical hit chance isn't that great because I use smart cover with this build, but you can use pulse too if you want. So let's get into the knee pads. I'm using Alpha Bridge knee pads with exotic damage resilience, blind death resist, shock resist, burn resist. Honestly, the best you can really get. First aid ally heal, which is helpful as well because everyone uses heal. We know that. And that's stamina as well. And then on that, I'm using a crit hit chance mod. Crit hit chance mods are fantastic, by the way. On this one, I think I am also, I'm also using crit hit chance on that one. Don't be afraid to use crit hit chance mods. If you can get your crit hit chance up by 6.5, it's going to be huge. So I also have skill power here on that stamina mod as well on the backpack. Now this backpack needs to improve quite a bit. It has smart cover damage resilience, which is nice. Disrupt resist, which is nice. The skill power is nice as well. But on a 268 bag, you can get up near like 7,000 skill power, which will help out a lot. And also the stamina is really low because this is a 240. So that will help out in the future for sure once I get a 268 backpack. And then I'm using the final measure gloves with SMG damage, crit hit chance, and first aid self heal. Those are literally god roll like gloves. I just can't believe that I rolled those, especially for this build. So yeah, that's basically what I'm running. If you want to look at my character stats, you know, my crit hit chance is 32.5%. Don't forget that's 14% higher than what it is if I'm taking damage. But, you know, also you got to remember, there's, you know, if you're playing with a group, they're going to be pulsing, giving you crit hit chance. If anyone is using offensive ult, they're going to be getting crit hit chance as well. So like there's a bunch of ways that you can up your crit chance, but you know, with your high skill power, you're going to be able to be at full health a lot of the time with your heal. My crit damage is 178%, which is nice. Headshot damage 97%, accuracy 45, stability 50. Let's go down to my health and other stuff. Where's that? Max health is 115,000, which is decent. I would rather be near like 120 if you can, but that's good. Armor is maxed out, health regeneration, all that good stuff. So shock resist, which is important, disrupt. You know, we can see we got almost every resistance full besides bleed resist, which you can, you know, you can fix that by just popping a heal. And since your entire team is using heals, that's not really a big deal. But 75 exotic damage resilience helps out so much because, you know, sticky bombs, all those, you know, really cheap, like quick ways that you're going to die that are unexpected, it's going to save you from that, which is huge. And don't forget, guys, in my opinion, I wouldn't really go above 2,900 firearms. I would do just enough to get the talents, and then that's it, because I feel like you're going to get way more value from 600 stamina than you will from, you know, 600 firearms, because don't forget, firearms only increases your base damage, which with, you know, you got to think of all the other things that are going to be boosting your DPS. It doesn't matter that much. So that's the build that I'm running. So yeah, you get basically the 3-piece from Firecrest because of Hurried. You get the 6 talents, which is absolutely amazing. And you get the health regeneration. You get the 2 extra med kits, which I said are going to be really helpful when they fix that in the future. You know, being able to switch to something, getting the extra med kits, and then switching back. What's going to happen is it's going to actually switch back to the original amount that you have on your bag, so it's not going to matter. So yeah, that's going to be super helpful. And then the 2 final measure allows you to, you know, live cleaners, explosions, and any other type of sticky bombs or skill builds that are going to be trying to one-hit you. So yeah, this build is definitely pretty good. I think you guys will find it very, very helpful in the Dark Zone. You know, as far as PvE, I guess it will be kind of helpful, but it's not going to be as strong as it will be in PvP. But I want to actually go down to the shooting range so I can show you guys kind of how Hurried works if you may be a little bit confused on, like, you know, well, why is Hurried going to basically give you Firecrest? I'm going to show you guys here in a second. So, like I said, every single crit that you hit is going to raise your reload speed. So this is one of those talents that rewards people who are accurate. Now you may be saying, oh, but hitting, you know, 10% of your of crits in 40 bullets is going to be difficult. Don't forget, if you're using one is none as a let me see, as a talent. Hold on, let me look just to make sure. Yeah, if you're using one is none as a talent, headshot a hostile to have a 50% chance of not consuming the bullet. So if you're accurate, you know, you're actually going to be shooting more than 40 bullets. So let me show you what it's like to shoot 40 bullets, and I'm going to show you what it's like to shoot 40 bullets in the head. So that's 40 bullets. It's pretty quick, right? Watch in the head how much longer it is. You can see it's a lot longer when you're hitting them in the head. So if you're hitting headshots, your clip is actually longer than 40. It ends up being anywhere between 50 and 55 if you're lucky. And as you can see, the crits, those are 2 crits there. Another 2 crits. Another 2 crits. All of those crits, guys, are going to give you the reload speed. Look at how fast the reload speed is, guys. It's as fast as Firecrest, if not faster. So keep that in mind. It's basically you're getting the benefits from Firecrest, but also, you know, being able to use Alpha Bridge. And the only thing you kind of have to get over with this build is not having a marksman rifle, which does suck at long range. But if you're like myself who likes using SMGs up close, this will be super, super helpful build for you guys. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and hopefully you enjoyed. Take care, everybody.